Hello and welcome to yet another World of Tanks video today. Today we're going to be looking at the T49 American turreted tank destroyer. Now this is quite an interesting tank right here. Before this we had the M8A1, which I've probably shown you in a video, and that's a tier 4. This is the one after it. I'll just show you the research and tech tree. So we had this, we went through all of this kind of stuff, and I only chose to use 57mm just because it just had pretty much the best penetration really, apart from if you got them. In fact, it does have the best penetration out of all of them. It didn't do as much damage, but you see we've now got the T49, which is quite a nice tank actually. We've got quite a nice option of guns. We've got the 57, which is the default one, and to be honest that's not bad as a stock gun because it's still a tier 5 gun, so it works quite well. It's not the best, it doesn't do the best amount of damage at tier 5, but then do you actually have an option to upgrade the turret which gives slightly better armor, which to be honest isn't going to make much of a difference, but it does turn slightly faster. And then after that we get the option of getting a tier 5 76mm, which is basically the one on the M8A1 previously. I think this one probably is as well. And then we have the option of getting the 76mm anti-tank gun, which is a tier 6 and it's got a bit more penetration, does a lot more damage. So I'm on my way to getting the Hellcat, which I think I'm probably, I don't know, I may stop at the Hellcat because I think the Hellcat's probably, it's kind of like you either like them or don't like them, because I've seen people pretty much get killed within the first couple of minutes of a game starting just because they like go out before everyone else, because they're so fast, you see. You can easily get lost from the whole rest of the crew and someone will blow you up pretty quickly. But I have also seen them get like 5 or 6 kills sometimes, because if you look at their gun option, they've got everything from 76mm to 90, and in this case the 90mm is obviously quite slow, but it's got very nice penetration for a tier 6. It's got very nice damage, 240. Its accuracy is amazing, aiming time's very quick, and yeah, it looks like a pretty nice gun there. So I'm going to just go into a battle and see how we do here. We are in a tier 6 game, so I will try and be careful. I do apologise if I do die quickly, because it will be, obviously won't be as fun, so I will try and kind of hold off a bit so I don't die so quickly. But if I do end up dying and don't really do much, I do apologise, but haven't really had time to get decent replays with this yet, because yeah, I haven't really killed much, because the problem is the gun does penetrate everything, but it's hard to get kills with, just because you're going to have to hit someone about 15 times to actually kill them. So I'll quite often do a lot of damage, but it often like won't actually kill much. But we'll see how this goes anyway, because this seems to be more of a support. Tank destroyer doesn't often destroy tanks, which kind of sounds a bit stupid. We are in a tier 6 game, so it should be interesting. What we really want to do is kind of avoid the tier 6 heavies, and we should be relatively fine. We've got a tier 4 telling us just to stay here, which I'm not convinced is the best idea. I mean, okay, we are supposed to be defending, but not quite convinced that we should stick straight here, because all they're going to do is flank us around both sides and we're pretty much dead, so we do need to move around a bit. Now I think what I'm going to do is, because we are defending, I'm going to park myself about here, so we should be relatively well camouflaged. We've got building for RT protection, providing that the RT isn't up there or something. But this should take a bit of time just to probably start off. You can see they're all already trying to go straight round there. I've recently just had a sling of bad games. I don't know what it is, because it was a couple of days ago I was pretty much winning every game, and now every game I go in I seem to lose. I don't know why. It is annoying, especially when there's not really much you can do. Now the thing with this tank is it does have pretty much no armor, so if someone does shoot me, it's a guaranteed penetration and it's going to do full damage. So pretty much that is one of the core problems, because armor piercing is going to do a lot of damage anyway, so it goes straight through my armor. But if someone shot me with a high explosive like KV-1S, they could pretty easily one-shot me. I'm probably just about any other tank here. They're not going to struggle to kill me if they spot me, so that's why I'm kind of playing a bit like this. I know it is boring, just me sitting around. I will probably try and move around a bit, but the problem is we don't actually know where they are at this point, which obviously doesn't work too well. Now, just because I want this to be a bit more interesting, I will just show you a bit about the tank. So you can see it's quite fast. We're up to about 60 kilometers, so this is obviously like going up to the design of the Hellcat. There is someone up there which I probably could help with, but I'd rather not engage until I finish what I'm about to say. But yeah, it is very fast. It's easy to move. Once you've kind of upgraded the engine and suspension, it is a fast tank. And yeah, about 60-ish, which is decent. The only problem I do find is it seems to be better now, but even though I say the suspension is good, it's kind of like, it's quite tricky to kind of get around people. Because if you're going like this, trying to like go behind someone, it's just too slow really to do that, and they've pretty much already shot you in the back. Also find that when engaging other tank destroyers, especially the Jag Panther, it is quite often because some tank destroyers with, which aren't turreted, will often have fast traverse speeds, so that they can turn around quickly, which obviously doesn't help when you're trying to get behind them. And then at that point I'm pretty much dead. Now there is someone up there which I'm not sure they're going to come around here and kill us, or they're going to go straight to the base. I doubt they'll go straight to the base because, well, let's be honest, it'd be pretty stupid. But I'm pretty convinced that they'll probably come around here and try and kill us. At least they're going to try and kill the arty, so hopefully they'll kill him first. Just because I don't want to die. But yeah, this tank is nice. I think the thing is, you do need to learn how to play the American tank destroyers, because they're completely different. If you think about it, turreted, non-turreted TD, sorry, they have really strong front armor because that's basically what they're for. They're supposed to face the enemy and shoot them, because they've got to get a good shot, and whereas this is kind of more of a hit and run kind of tank destroyer, whereas yeah, most of them, they're designed so most shells should bounce off the front and that they can get a few good shots, and whereas this isn't the case. You've kind of got to be on the move, in the sense that if someone suddenly came down here and I shot them, I'd probably want to move before they shot me back. Now it does look like they've already kind of flanked us, which isn't good. Now just because I feel like we've kind of had enough time talking, I'm just going to probably engage these guys if they ever come around here. I'm sure I did see a few of them. Now I think this is going to be another loss, which is unfortunate, but I'm not sure where they've actually gone. I'm just going to risk it and like get myself killed. There's no harm in doing that. I've talked about most of the stuff I want to talk about, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Now obviously that wasn't going to penetrate. Front armor of Stug. Isn't going to do much there. No, he did do some damage then. Now that Stug's trying to go up behind me, which isn't ideal. That bounced off. I think this will be the one that kills me. But I didn't really stand a chance, so I had a Stug, 2 Chinese mediums, which are pretty nasty tanks really. Tier 6, I think. Well, yeah, tier 6 and tier 5. So, to be fair, I don't think that was a bad run. We did do some decent damage, so hopefully when we lose this game, I'm not saying I want to hopefully lose, but when we do end this game, I'll show you how much damage we did, hopefully. Now, this is what I'm kind of telling you about. I've lost pretty much every game recently. I don't know why. I don't think I've won a game for ages. In just about every game I've done, I've lost it. I don't know why. But we did get Defender because we stopped them and stuff. We did... Well, yeah, I did shoot a Jag Panzer. Oh, that wasn't even a Stug, that was a Jag Panzer. so that probably explains it. But Type 58 did 152, which was a tier 6 Chinese medium. Then the T34 did 76, so we didn't do too badly in that sense. We did do decent damage. But there you go, there's the T49. Definitely recommend it. Probably, obviously I can't really say much about how, well, yeah, it is a good tank, but obviously I just lost that game, so it doesn't really show too much about the tank. But yeah, generally it is good. I've just had like a bad streak of games in just about every tank I've played in. I'm just going to show you the KV-1S because I'm kind of getting fed up with this, because the KV-1, if I show you that, is an amazing heavy tank. It's got excellent armor for its tier, 110mm turret armor all round. I've already shown you all this, but it's got a gun that can actually penetrate something, whereas I'll show you this. I've literally, first of all, you start with the 76mm tier 5 gun, which can't penetrate anything of its tier. Pretty much it's going to struggle to penetrate light tanks, so that is awful. The accuracy is rubbish, aiming time is pretty rubbish, rate of fire is rubbish, and then I have to upgrade to that one to get the new turret, which, again, the penetration for a gun of this tier is rubbish. The turret is pretty good, and yeah, I've had to use 122mm. It's the only one that does damage, but I've just found myself losing every game, so it's impossible to get to this one here. Now this is the one that everyone uses, the long gun, which pretty much can one-shot most light tanks. It can rip apart a medium, and yeah, it's a decent gun there. Very expensive, that's the problem, because it's taking ages to get. And then you've got the 85, which I think I may get in between times just so that I can actually have a decent game, because that's pretty much, it's only just up the scratch. 122mm damage is pretty terrible for a tier 6. But yeah, there you have it, my Soviet heavy tank line and the T49. So I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, remember to like and subscribe. See you next time, guys.